Guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm really pleased you came back to see me, and I'm really pleased to bring you my first I&W Carnival watch. This one is one that they reached out to me through my email. Actually, they sent me an email asking, is this a watch you'd be happy to feature because we'd like you to do so. I said, yeah, I really like the look of it. It's a dress watch, GMT, with an NH34 movement with fantastic specs and all below £100. Sounds very good, doesn't it? Does it live up to that billing? Because sometimes you look at these sort of stock pictures they've got, you see it and you're thinking, I'm not sure. So I'm hoping that I can sort of help you in that regard, and hopefully by the end of the video you know if it's for you or not. If it is, please use the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost you any more. Yeah, so there we go. I'll stop going on, and with that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. First I&W Carnival watch on the channel. It comes with an outer sleeve, which you can obviously easily take off. Well, most people can. Obviously I can't. And then there's the watch. You've got inner box, sort of comes apart, and then you've got the watch inside. Nothing too elaborate, quite straightforward stuff. And there you go. It does come with a hang tag that I seem to have misplaced. But yeah, there you go. Nice cloth inside. There's the sort of bit of plastic that also was around the watch to keep it more safe in transit. And there you go. But guys and girls, that's your lot. We just put this to the side very quickly, and then we can have a look at the watch. So there we go. This is the watch. They do a couple of other color variations as well that I'll bring up now. So you can obviously choose which one's more in keeping with your taste. I'm really happy they sent me this one. I like the blue with blue. So yeah, this would have been the one I chose. So thank you very much, I&W Carnival, for sending this over. But there you go. Lots to like about the watch. Nice sort of multi-textured dial. Lots going on there. But this is the 691G. Not the sort of most sort of memorable sort of model number, if you like, but it's a 691G nonetheless. Inside, it's running an automatic Seiko NH34 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. You would have seen this movement quite a lot now since it made an appearance sort of a year or so back in the Seiko 5 sports watches, the GMT ones obviously, and now it's become sort of the sort of movement of choice in affordable GMT watches. So yeah, lots to like about it. NH34 movement, 4R34 when in a Seiko watch, 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve, and this one's running, I kid you not, this one's running at a second fast a day over the last 2 weeks, which for my opinion is quite astounding really for an affordable watch. But there we go. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back and the leather strap, is all 316L stainless steel, all polished. You'll be able to make out the polishing's done nicely though. Polished bezel, polished case on the top and the sides, polished crown. The crown's a little bit smaller than I would like really, but it's okay. Exhibition case back, so the outer part of the exhibition case back is also, you guessed it, high polished, as is the pin buckle clasp, signed on there, as is the crown, but we'll go through that in just a few moments. The case thickness of the watch is 12.4 millimeters. The case diameter, I sort of measure from here to here, it was kind of 40.8 millimeters, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, including that crown, it's coming at 43.9 millimeters. The lug width on this is 21, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, is bang on 48 millimeters. So nice proportions, nice length. I'm not so keen on the lug width, but there we are. You can't have it all at this point, can ya? The case back it looks like it's pressed down to me, guys. So if you want to take it off, you'd have to get a tool sort of up here or down there and just jimmy it open. But there we go. Lots of blue AR coating on the crystal, which is it's a bit yellowy tinged also. Bits of information on there as well. The bezel I've already mentioned is a high polished bezel in keeping with the rest of the watch, and the crown is situated at the 3 o'clock position. Let's give it a quick wipe. You'll see it's got I&W on there. Just so yeah, a little bit of signage on there as well. So there we go, push pull crown at the 3 o'clock position. The strap is leather. It's a blue leather to go in keeping with those blue hands and stuff, which I think is nice. Bits of signage on the back as well. I&W Carnival genuine leather, and it does feel like decent leather as well. The pin buckle clasp I already mentioned is signed with I&W on there as well. So no brush surfaces on this, but it is a dress watch, so I don't think it's a massive deal breaker really. The water resistance is only cited as being 30 meters, so that would only give you 30 atmospheres, or 3 atmospheres, excuse me, of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. It's just above 70 grams, or just below 71 grams, which, given the size of the watch, the proportions, is on leather strap. It's probably hardly surprising. But there we are, guys. Let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in just a bit more detail. So you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. You've got Roman numerals inside that from 1 to 12. They look, for all intents and purposes, like they've been sort of printed on to the dial. Nothing's been applied, I don't think. But there is a nice multi-texture to the dial. So you've got 1 to 12 in Roman numerals. Inside that, you've got another part of the dial that goes from 1 to 24. And then another dial just inside that. It's all one dial, but like little dials integrated into one, where it says I&W Carnival, automatic GMT. Very nice spiralized effect on that inner one, and then another effect on the outer. Bit more plain on the 1 to 24, but looks very, very cool. At the 3 o'clock position, you've obviously got a nicely cut out date border. Whether the date needs to be there is neither here nor there. Some would like it not to for sort of symmetry of the watch. Some like it for the functionality, but it's there anyway. Automatic GMT. So you got automatic, you got GMT underneath in red, and you got a red arrow at the end of the GMT hand there. You got blue hands for the minute, second, and hour, which I think is nice, nicely blued. Offers a nice contrast to that sort of silvery white dial, and obviously black in sort of the I&W and the Roman numerals and stuff. No loom on this watch, guys, but I don't mind that, given it's a dress piece with only 30 meters of water resistance. So there we are. Nice accents from blue and red, as I've said, to complement it. NH34 movement. If you take the crown all the way out, it does hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. If you turn the crown away from you, you can charge it. If you take it out to the first position, if you turn it towards you, you can change the date. You'll see that. If you turn it away from you, you can change the GMT hand to whatever you want it to be. So now it's saying it's 20 past 8 in both time zones. If you flick it all the way through, now it's 20 past 2 or 23 minutes past 2 in the morning on your second time zone, and coming out 22 minutes past 8, 23 minutes past 8 where I am at the moment. So yeah, that's the GMT hand. Obviously it won't hack when you're setting the date or the GMT hand. It hacks when you take it all the way out, and as I said, just put it back in, it will start back up again. But that's the dial, guys. That's everything that's going on with that. Let me just give it a quick wipe. Let you see what it looks like under the studio lights just here. Give me one moment. Okay, so guys, this is what it looks like on my just above a 7-inch wrist. What do you think? It looks okay, doesn't it? In this sort of angle, the AR coating doesn't look great, but in general, it doesn't look too bad. But yeah, nice looking piece. Lots of holes to choose from. 2 more to make it tighter and several to make it looser, so I don't think you'll have a problem with the leather strap. And if you're fortunate enough to have some 21mm straps, you can change it. I tried it on a couple of 22s, I couldn't quite get it to fit, so that's why you didn't see any other shots. But there we are, that's the watch, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me on swiftly to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants is not a lot, to be honest. I do think it's a nice watch, especially for the quite modest price for what you're getting. But I will mention 2 things. I'm going to mention the lug width. I'm not a fan of these odd numbers with lug widths. This should have been a 20mm lug width all day long and twice on Sundays, in my opinion. And the crown size, the crown's just a little bit smaller than I would like, maybe a mil bigger in my opinion, and it would have made it a little bit easier to deal with. I can use it, but 1 more mil bigger and it would have been a lot easier to deal with. So they're the 2 things I would mention, is the lug width and crown size. The date was almost on there, but I quite like having a date on my watch. When I'm at work, sometimes I forget, so it makes my life a bit easier. So they're the 2 things. What I think is pucker. I do like a bit of sapphire crystal on this watch. I think it really does sort of complement it. I know the polished elements might get a bit scuffed up, but the crystal most certainly won't. The dial on this watch is beautiful. Lots of different textures and stuff going on there. So yeah, lots to like about the dial. The hands, especially those blue hands, are done really nice in different lights. You'll just see it catch the light and sort of just, yeah, looks really, really nice. So the hands, the movement, yeah, the Seiko NH34 movement is the go-to GMT movement of choice now, as I've said. And nice to get this at this sort of price range. Below £100, I think it's definitely one to get. The general look of the watch, I'm not saying it's a complete original or anything, but I do think it looks really, really nice. Nice to have a sort of dressy GMT as well, as they're a bit more lacking rather than the sporty watches and the dive watches of this world. And the price, like I said, this sort of comes in around £90. And with the sapphire crystal, the dial you're getting, the movement, the strap feels nice as well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of watch for the price. So just to surmise what I think is Pukka, as I go with the sapphire crystal, the dial, the hands, movement, general look and price of the watch. And that will take me on to, would I recommend this watch? I definitely would. I think it's one that, it was one that I really wanted to get in, and when they reached out to me, this just felt like the stars aligned. So I do think it's a really nice offering, and one that I would definitely implore you to pick up if you want a dressy GMT with nice specs. But that goes without saying, guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.